Good morning from another beautiful day here in central Portugal. It's a little windy out there, so I'm gonna chat to you from within the polytunnel. I've got some tongue and groove behind me, and today I'm really excited to continue on working on cladding my door, my front door, and putting a window in. This project's been on the go for around 10 months. I originally started by attaching a whole bunch of pieces of wood to the interior frame of the door so that I could then slide some insulated corkboard into the spaces. This was to act as a frame to support the cladding that would go on in the future. So I've done the other stuff, and now I'm moving on to the window and the cladding, and I'm excited to just keep pushing forward. So let's get into the work. So I'm going to start this video in what's going to be sort of a strange unboxing. As many of you might know from previous videos, my friend Sinead is moving next door, and we're going to share tools, which means she's been buying a whole bunch of tools to sort of contribute into the pot. And this weird unboxing, it's weird because it didn't really come in a Makita box, it just came in a mysterious cardboard box. But it's a planer, and I'm going to use the planer to try to make a piece of the door puzzle. So it's got instruction manual, it's got safety instructions, and this one looks like it actually has some bigger pictures that hopefully actually make sense. Oh no, these are, what is this for? These are completely different tools. This is a Hoover. Makita, I do not understand you, so I don't know what's going on with this. I've used a planer many times before, and I'm not quite as scared of this as I am of the router, which defeated me in a previous video. So I'll have a look at this, and then I'll show you what I'm going to use it for. I have a present for you. It's a box. I know your kind like boxes a lot, so it's there for you if you want to explore. But now I've got some work to do, so enjoy the sun, and I'll see you later. Okay, so since I find the Makita instructions to be utterly hopeless, I've consulted a few YouTube videos, and as suspected, a planer is a planer. I've had this really long, flat piece of wood kicking around for quite a while. I don't remember the original reason I bought it, but I'm going to repurpose it, at least a portion of it, to use it as a frame for the window to attach into. Very similar to what I did with the shower, but I'm going to make this in a way that also helps support the door. But before I can do that, I have to plane it so that it's, first of all, flat. It's quite bowed at the moment. And I also have to plane it all the way down to the thickness of the other pieces of wood that are in the door. I think it's going to be a lot of planing to get down to the right thickness, so I don't know if this is going to work, but I'll give it a try anyway. Let's start by making it flat, and then we can go from there. So I'm going to have to take off a whole lot. This could be a completely crazy idea, but I like the idea of reusing a piece of wood that I already have. I might be planing for days, but I'll give it a try, and let's see what I end up with. Okay, new tool time. I'm excited. I'm incredibly happy with this. This tool is going through this wood like it's butter. It's going to take a lot of planing to get to the point where this thing is the right size that I need, but I'm going to enjoy it. So I think I'm going to change. It's super hot out here, and then just get to some planing, and then I'll check in again when I have this weird piece of wood that I'm hoping will work as a window frame. I don't mean to sound like an ad for Makita, but this tool is an absolute beast. It's taken off on this side about 4 or 5 millimeters in probably under 10 or 15 minutes. It's just shredded through it. And granted, the blade is sharp and new, and I also probably have some work to do. Yeah, you can see it's kind of trailed off more towards the end. So once I chop this to size and flip it around, I'll have a better idea, but I'm so impressed with this thing. Your instruction manuals suck, Makita, but your tools, they're pretty top notch. Okay, so I've got my piece. It looks sort of okay. This end is the way I want it, the right thickness, but as you can see, it kind of gets thicker as we carry on. So I don't know what the best strategy is for solving that. I suppose I'll get the planer out again and maybe draw some lines along the side. I don't really know the best way to do this. So I'm just trying some stuff, see what happens. It's not like I'm making fine furniture here. Far from it. This is just for a very strange piece to go inside the door. It will be hidden. Yeah. So I don't know. This side is quite a bit thicker than this side. But how do I make sure I don't plane it so it gets all twisted and funky? So according to my fairly dodgy measurements, that's actually quite a big difference from that side to this side. So I've got a lot more planing to do. I think I might try to connect a line from there to there. Seems like the next best step. And then, yeah, just try to slice it off to the best of my abilities. So it seems to be going okay. Got a bit more work to do. So I'll crack on with this and hopefully check in again when I have a piece of wood that's mostly uniform, mostly flat, and suitable for my purposes. I've just had lunch and I'm feeling full and I'm feeling a bit sleepy. I kind of want to have a snooze in the hammock, but I'm excited to push on with this weird thing that I'm making. And rather than walking you through the process and talking about it the whole way along, I'm just going to get into it, get it done. But before I do, I want to talk about the window that I've chosen for this thing. Let's go into the polytunnel where there's no windiness. So this is the same window that I'm using for the shower. I only have one of them, but I can easily order a second one. It's about 50 euros. And I've looked for an alternative. I wanted a larger window in the front, and this one's 10 inches. I was hoping for a 12 inches, which I think would make quite a big difference, but I've looked, and all of the ones that are larger, 12 or 15 inches, they all either get bad reviews, they ship in from outside of the EU, which means they would get stuck in Portuguese customs, and I'd have to pay duty, and stuff goes missing all the time, or they don't seal at the front, and I'd be afraid that water would get in and then kind of come in and drip in the door. So I just couldn't find anything that was suitable, and the more I thought about it, the more I realized that this door is probably going to be temporary. It'll be there for a long time, but eventually I'd love to put a nice wooden door in with a big glass panel on it. And I just want to get this done, check it off my list, and I could and ah and think about this window for ages and try to get one, but I just want to get it done. So I've made a call. I'm going to have the smaller window, and I feel okay with that. I feel like it's going to be fine. I think that's good. I'm happy with the location. However, the next steps are going to be cutting some metal, and I'm feeling really tired, so I'm gonna take some time off, chill out a bit, and tackle this again. The serious part, the cutting a hole in a metal door part, which has me a little bit apprehensive. I'll tackle this in a couple days when I'm feeling more rested and when I've had a little bit of time to think about how I'm actually gonna do this. So, I guess I'll say goodbye from today, and I'm gonna go have a glass of orange juice and sit in my hammock because I'm surprisingly tired. This carpentry stuff, it's taxing on the brain a little bit. So that's me for today. I'll check in again in a couple days when I'm feeling more rested and ready to move on to cutting through metal. Not my favorite job. See you then. Hi everybody, it's a brand new day. Quite overcast, but the temperature is really lovely. And though I had a restful weekend, I've come out the other side and I'm sick. It might sound worse than it is. I've got a bit of a scratchy cough and a bit of a chest sort of thing going on. But this window isn't going to put itself in the door, and I'm determined to get this done today. It's probably all I'll try to do today. I'm not going to keep pushing on, but it is probably the scariest piece of work that I've had to do on my house. Cutting a hole in a perfectly fine existing metal door, you know, might seem unwise. If everything goes to plan, amazing. If it doesn't go to plan, bad. So I'm gonna just keep going with this wooden door frame thing, which will make a lot of sense very soon. And when I mark out and drill the hole for the window, that's when I can finish the support, and that's when I can hopefully put everything into place. What do you think of this location? The next step, drill a hole, smack in the center, see where it pops out the other side, and that'll allow me to draw a rough circle on the other side, just to see if I'm happy with the location from the inside as well. Let's put a hole in a perfectly good metal door. I have a hole in the door. Okay, time to draw a circle. I also still have to attach this guy to the door by screwing in from the sides. But for now, my main goal, it's not even about drawing a circle on this side because I'll probably cut it from the other side. I just need to know where to cut this thing. I'd love to cut this and just take it out completely so it's out of my way. So I just need to basically measure down, make some marks, and then make the cuts. The thickness of this thing might be an issue. It could just be close to being perfect, or it might just be a couple millimeters too thick. If it's too thick, I'll probably have to attempt to take it off with a hacksaw, which hopefully will be fine, but I probably should have checked that beforehand. So that looks about right. I'm gonna have it open from the top downward, just because there's no space to open upwards. I don't know, it just seems like the easiest way to do it. It might look weird having it hang down here, but it could also look weird going up at an angle. Maybe to the side would work. I don't really know. I kind of feel like, I don't know, maybe that needs more thought. I could cut this little nub thing off completely and I wouldn't have to think about it, but I assume that's in there for some reason. So I'm thinking open downward. So from the center of the circle to the circle for cutting the hole, it's about 10.5 centimeters. 10.5 centimeters. Something like that. One thing I've been a little concerned about with this door is the fact that I need to take out this diagonal brace. A few people have mentioned that it'll lose its structure if and when I do, and I am a little concerned about that myself. That's why I've kind of put in an extra wooden frame that's fairly well bolted to the door itself, and it's why I'm going to try to make a better support for the window to go in. One thing that does have me a bit concerned is you see these sort of spot welds here. There's 1, 2 up there, then there's 2 here, but these 2 will be cut out, and then there's none down here. So in theory, it seems as though once I cut out this weld there, this won't actually be attached to the front piece of the door, so I don't think it'll be doing anything. That is a cause for some concern. Anyway, let's see what happens. And so because of my nervousness with this diagonal thing, my idea is, I think, to make a piece that basically sits in here, and I'll cut sort of pieces out of it so that I can put insulation in here and to get rid of some of the weight. I am a little nervous about how heavy this door is going to be once all the wood is on it. That's another cause for concern. Anyway, so I'll put this in place. It'll kind of sit in between the diagonal part. It'll hold the window in place, but I'm hoping that because it's going to be attached top and bottom, it's going to help make this top panel more rigid. It seems like it makes sense. I don't know. Yeah, I just don't know. So I'm going to try to mark out where this goes, because actually where I have to cut the diagonal, now that I think of it, is really more dependent on this piece than on the circle. So what I did before was a waste of time, but I'm going to try to mark out the location for the cut. Then I'm just going to cut it. I'm just going to do it, and then once I do that, get this into place, finish this piece off, I can then figure out where the hole is going to go for the window, cut this, slot it all in place. It all sounds so simple when I say it like that, doesn't it? But I am kind of excited. This is a big deal. This is a big step in this project that I've had on the go for a really long time. So I'm excited. Like I said, a little scared, a little excited, but mostly excited. Now I'm wondering if this thing is too heavy. I'm not convinced about this idea.
but I've just put so much work into it already. I want to use it, but I'm thinking maybe it's not the best approach. I'm wondering if I should just cut the hole and go from there. I have a hard time visualizing things until they're in progress. And I think once I actually get the hole cut, I'll plan for a higher window, I think. Cut the hole, and then that's going to allow me to visualize things a little better. I think that's what I'm going to do. It could be a horrible mistake. I don't know, but I think it's going to be okay. So let's just do it. Let's just cut this hole. I don't have a full plan, but that's okay. I'll figure it out along the way. Marking out takes forever. It might not be the most exciting thing to watch, but if I'm not on camera, I'm probably spending time marking out. So, I think I'm happy with the location. Let's go stand a bit farther away and see how this thing looks. I'm about 95% happy with that. It does seem a little high, but from the inside it actually looks much better, being a little higher. It looks too low from the inside. And if I'm standing here, my eye level is kind of right there. Any lower and it probably would have been a bit weird. I'm shorter than the average person, so yeah, lower would be kind of a window for really short people. So having it there might not look ideal from the outside, although I do think it looks okay, but it looks a lot better from the inside, and it's a lot more practical as far as looking through the window, which is what a window's for. So let's go get this thing cut. Let's do it. Okay, I'm not super crazy about sparks flying around inside, so I'm gonna take the circle cutting operation to the outside. I have a window. That's pretty cool. Whew, it's hot in there. So that was a tricky job, but it was really enjoyable, and it's one of these jobs where I can see myself improving with a lot of practice. I think eventually at some point I'm gonna start to enjoy working with metal. I'm kind of on the cusp. This was challenging, but not so challenging that I didn't also enjoy it. So yeah, I'm really excited about this, and I'm excited to see what this whole letting light into my house looks like from the inside. So let's go inside and take a look. So it's not a big hole, but it definitely makes a huge, huge difference. My camera battery died at a really annoying moment, so I put it on charge, but I pushed on with the work. I made the little nub thing for the window frame, and I also shaved off a little bit around the circle that needed to be shaved off. I think I have one more little cut to do here at the bottom, and then I'll probably sand it as well. And then we're gonna stick the window in. So let's make that final cut and get this thing in place. Hello. Okay, let's finish this. Okay. I'm sick of working on this thing, so let's hope it fits. So it definitely needs more work. It's a little tight. It won't go in all the way on this side. But for the moment, I'm happy with this. I'm gonna leave this window in the door. I'm gonna plug up the shower window with some kind of towel or bag of insulation or whatever I can find. And I'm gonna call it for work today. I'm really happy with how things have gone. I don't feel amazingly well, so I'm gonna take it easy for the rest of the day. I've got some firewood to prepare and some other chores to do around my place, and then I'm just gonna probably go to sleep for a while. But like I said, I probably sound worse than I actually feel. I'm just a little tired, so I'm happy with this. I'm really excited. I feel so excited to have light in my house. But before I say goodbye, let me show you guys what this looks like from the outside and the inside. Actually, and let me also get all this oppressive safety gear off because it's kind of strangling me. But I'm happy. Oh, a bee just came in and then went out again, so I need to get a screen on this thing. So I have maybe a little sanding to do and it'll fit better. I'm not totally sure. I guess that's the view. Ah, it looks lovely. And then this is the light that it brings into the house. I won't pan around too much because my place is completely messy, but there's a sneak preview. And let's go outside and take a look. So yeah, I don't think it looks too bad opening downward. Let's close it up and see what it looks like. I think it's cool. I think it's kind of weird, but I think I like it. I'm really happy with how this door looks. I'm so happy to have that hole cut and to have the window in place. I still have loads of work to do, but I'm happy with how things are going so far. I'm gonna say goodbye from this video and rest up so I can tackle the carpentry nice and fresh tomorrow. As always, thanks for watching. If you have any questions at all or just want to say hello, please leave a comment. I love hearing from people. And I'll see you in the second part of the door series, which hopefully will be out tomorrow and which will hopefully wrap up this project once and for all. But I'll find out when you do. So until then, thanks for watching.